Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Welcome to the ring now, from Newark, USA, Maurice Harris.
All the way from New Jersey, a guy that's been in the business best part of 20 years. It says a lot that back in the 90s, this guy was a regular sparring partner with Lennox Lewis, and he also did some sparring with Mike Tyson, no less. He gets involved in some real big fights, some real spectacular knockouts as well, and very often he can be on the receiving end. But there aren't too many fighters active today that can say they've been in the ring with the great Larry Holmes. Okay, Larry was about 87 at the time, but that gives you a kind of idea of the experience that Sugar Mo, Maurice Harris, brings to the York Hall tonight.
Yeah, well, Maurice Harris has been knocked out several times throughout his career, but one of the reasons for that is he really gives things a go. When he puts the gloves on, he goes into the ring and gives it everything, and I think that the prize fighter format will shoot him down to the ground. Tough draw for him first time up against Sosnowski, but if he gets through this, he really could do well.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Poland, Albert Sosnowski.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I'm rocking my pants.
Big Albert Sosnowski has some happy memories of this ring. Back in December 2009, he outpointed Paulo Vidoz to become European champion. He went on to give a pretty decent argument with Vitaly Klitschko. That was in May 2010, but recently, it's been downhill all the way. He's going to want to put recent form behind him and use prize fighter to reignite his career.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the legendary York Hall Bethnal Green. Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Sport proudly presents the Betfair Prize Fighter International Heavyweights. Sponsored here by Betfair, don't settle for less, in association with Lonsdale and SportsDirect.com. And a very warm welcome to the viewers joining us live and exclusive here on Sky Sports HD. It's Fight Night Live! All the officials are commanded by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge, Mick Collier. Our area representatives are Des Race and Bill Edwards. Our doctors, Dr. White, Dr. Patel, Dr. Fern, and Dr. Henley, and our inspectors work in the corners. Bob Longhurst, Nick Laidman, Nigel Thomas, and Harold Adams. Our officials working all four quarterfinals, the semi and the final. They are Phil Edwards of Preston, Mark Green of Romford, and John Keane of Wellingborough. The referee in charge of quarterfinal number one is Victor Lachlan of Paisley, Scotland. So here we go then, quarterfinal number one. Introducing to you firstly, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the white trunks, weighing in at 17 stone, 3.5 pounds, 44 fight record, 25 wins, 11 inside the scheduled distance, 16 losses and 2 draws. He comes to the ring as the reigning USBA heavyweight champion from Newark, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, Maurice Harris! And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the silver trunks trimmed with black, weighing in at 15 stone, 13.5 pounds. A 52 fight record, 46 wins, 25 inside the scheduled distance, 4 losses and 2 draws. Coming to the ring as the former European heavyweight champion and world title challenger. Ladies and gentlemen, from Poland, it's the Dragon, Albert Sosnowski. Timekeeper at the bell is Peter McCann, and our referee in charge of the action once again, ladies and gentlemen, Victor Lachlan of Paisley, Scotland. This is 3 3-minute rounds, quarterfinal number one.
Okay, guys, you know the rules. Obey my commands at all time. Defend yourselves at all time. Touch gloves. God bless.
Maurice Harris has the height advantage. He's got the weight advantage as well. Around 18 pounds on Albert Sosnowski. He also has a ton of experience. But Sosnowski, with that wonderful work ethic of his, looks confident and ready, but so too does this fella. And if you go back 10 years, Maurice Harris boxed in a very similar format to Prize Fighter. He had to fight 3 opponents on the same night, and he beat them all. So the Prize Fighter format will not faze him one little bit. So the American Harris in the white, Warsaw's Albert Sosnowski in the silver and black. Sosnowski a favourite in this one, which might surprise one or two people, but hey, this is Prize Fighter. Anything can happen. And very often does. And Sosnowski is certainly coming out flying.
He's holding and punching there, and the referee Laughlin let him away with that. I think Sosnowski is good enough to do well in this tournament. I just wonder about his temperament and the fact that it's over 3 rounds, but he started very quickly. Harris looking a little bit lazy. I wonder if Harris is just looking for a knockout. There he is.
Yeah, he may well be. Yeah, that was a big right hand, and Albert shaken up. His legs are unsteady, and Harris looking to move in for the finish here. A very measured effort this from Harris. He's really picking his shots, where Sosnowski is much more wild. As the pole managed to weather that storm and get his legs back together.
Well, Harris using his experience and just waited his time. Looking for the big right hand, his glancing blow that time. But every time that right hand lands, you can see the effect on Sosnowski. Looking over to his corner there, Harris. They're probably telling him to keep calm. These are big punches he's landing.
Well, he's certainly picking that right hand over the top, isn't he, Harris? Just looking for it again. Sosnowski keeping that work rate going.
Yeah, but they're kind of little scuffling punches from Sosnowski. I think he's been shocked a little bit. Well, that was a scoring left jab there, not the same quality. Sosnowski is the busier of the two. But he's found out early he can't take chances here.
Just managed to block off that right hand from Harris that time, Sosnowski. I mean, this is the thing with Prize Fighter, and this is the thing with judges. Sosnowski's definitely throwing more punches, but it's the powerful stuff that is coming from Harris.
Yeah, he's been a little bit busier, Sosnowski. I think he's trying to get his confidence back now. Big right hand again.
And again, the glove was well up. Sosnowski's learned his lesson there. So Harris tries to catch him with the left. There's a real sense of anticipation around a packed as ever York Hall. They know that Big Albert felt that earlier right hand. They're waiting for the next one to detonate. And he just saw that one coming along as well. Sosnowski managed to just move his head, otherwise that could have been the end of it. And again, holding and spoiling.
Well, I think I'm leaning towards Harris for the quality in the punches. Sosnowski's been scuffling away there with little arm punches. Whereas Harris has been digging them in, full power shots. Could be doing with being a little bit busier, but I've prepared his work in the opener.
Just another prize fight tonight, wasn't it? Well, this is what Prize Fighter is all about, all action. Sosnowski went off fast, but the quality, as you say, Jim, came from the American.
Yeah, and quality has to count for something. As soon as he was hurt, his work became ragged. He was throwing little bursts of punches, but they were little arm punches of Sosnowski, whereas you were getting real quality right hands back from Harris. Looking for the finish here. You can see him showing the patience, picking the punches nicely. We didn't see anything as cleanly delivered as that from Sosnowski. Big right hands, did well to take that one, caught him a little bit high. But Harris definitely the danger in the tournament, it looks like.
6 outs, round 2.
Round 2, Albert Sosnowski against Maurice Harris. Harris with that big right hand, but a guy that's been knocked out 11 times, and sometimes quite spectacularly. Derek Jefferson all those years ago in a real up-and-downer, and Fraser Quenda, remember that one, about 9 years ago. That looked like could have been the end of the line for Harris, but he came back. So if Albert can catch him one, there is every chance that he can turn this thing upside down, but as you said earlier, Jim, the power at the moment is certainly coming from Harris.
Yeah, and there's no real quality in what Sosnowski's doing here. No, he's kind of pawing with these punches. I think he's worried about what's coming back, and I can't say I blame him.
Yeah, last time out, Albert Sosnowski really plodded his way to a draw with Hastings Rassani. No disrespect to Hastings, who's been in with everybody, but that's not the kind of form you want to bring to prize fighter.
And I think everybody likes to score the knockout in prize fighter. It's going to be a long night. But I think Harris is just waiting a little bit too long in this round, not getting the punches off.
Well, you just took the words out of my mouth there, Jim, because prize fight is all well and good, and landing the heavy shots, if you don't get the fella out of there, the work rate is coming from Sosnowski.
Trying to let the left hook go. There's that right hand again. Now, Harris has to raise the work rate or he's going to get scuffled out of this round. Certainly not quality stuff we're seeing from Sosnowski, but he's busy, he's getting the punches home, they're scoring punches, yes, the jab working for him.
Yeah, for me, he was doing this in the first round as well. Never mind that he got rocked to his boots, he was fiddling and scuffling away.
Yeah, there's a case for it, you can say outworked Harris a little bit, but I just thought the quality turned it in Harris's favour. Quality has to count for something, surely.
I'll tell you what, though, Jim, there's not much quality in this second round from Harris. Very quiet, very flat.
Now, I wonder what kind of shape he's in. Is he relying on the knockout? But he's not setting himself in this round. Good work by Sosnowski as far as keeping him off balance is concerned. His tactics are good. Getting the punches off a little bit quicker and then not hanging around. A little bit of head movement there from him.
Harris trying to apply some pressure, pinning him in a neutral corner, but again, not throwing any significant punches at all there. The veteran, as Sosnowski, well, he's left himself wide open for that, and that's annoyed Sosnowski, but he's only got himself to blame.
He completely switched off there. Have to concentrate here, it's so important. Obviously, in the heavyweight division, one punch can finish the job. Harris struggling with his timing in the second round. Got to give Sosnowski a little bit of credit for ruffling him out of it a little bit. Still not quality. A good shot there coming back from Harris. Yep, I think Sosnowski did enough to win the second round.
And the other argument could be Harris just didn't do enough. Took an age to get going, and when he did get going, he was loading up with single shots. That wasn't impressive. You don't win prize fighter like this. Yeah, a big punch, but not enough of them. Yeah,
but again, when you can see what he's capable of, you wonder that he doesn't just take the initiative a little bit more. I just thought he was scuffled out of that. I still think he's producing the better work. He's looking back over to his corner. I would imagine they're telling him to rev up. Now, how, with the experience this man has picked up in his career, how can you walk away after the referee has called box on? Unbelievable. Big mistake there. Lucky he didn't pay for it.
Come on, win this round. You've got to win this round. Come on, come on, come on.
Well, plenty of hustle in both corners.
Third and last round.
Because if Jim's to be believed, the quality of Harris was enough for the first round, the work rate of Sosnowski enough for the second. So if Jim is right, everything hinges on this last round. Harris, who started the second round slowly, isn't exactly coming out firing here in the third round, although Sosnowski can't get his timing together at the moment. But again, the hustle, the industry, the throwing of punches is coming from Sosnowski, and there's just not a lot coming back from Johnson at all. Harris, excuse me. Now, get better again. Good little left hook as he takes the initiative. Sosnowski.
Yeah, he's keeping himself nice and busy. He's getting his chin over Harris's shoulder there. Harris breathing with the mouth open, still looking for the knockout with big single shots.
Well, I think he's been G'd up by that left hook he took there. Harris.
He's walking away again, looking at the floor. Punch caught him high in the forehead there.
Well, every solid right hand that Harris has landed has clearly had an effect on Sosnowski, but he's still standing. And he keeps just pecking away. And again, It's an interesting one, isn't it, Jim? You made the point quality has to count, but so too does work rate.
Yep, and he's not really, you know, he's lazy again, Harris. There's not a great deal of quality in what Sosnowski's doing, but at least he's getting the punches off. Trying to keep a work rate high.
There's not an awful lot of quality from Harris there either. That was very optimistic, long-range punches, none of which connected. Coming up to the last minute of this one. And it's become a grinding battle. Sosnowski just looking up at the big screen to see how long there was to go. He's looking to pace himself. Looking to land the uppercut there, though, Harris. And here it is, the big charge from the veteran American. Sosnowski wisely ties him up, blocked, covered up well there, stayed out of trouble. And again, just looking at the floor, that's a bad habit he's developed there, Sosnowski.
Well, Harris has done a long career, but I'm just wondering, he doesn't look in the greatest of shape. You know, he's looked flat-footed since the opening round.
Well, when he landed that big right hand, we all thought, well, only one way this is going to go. And again, I think he shook him up, but then getting in again with a couple of decent short left hooks there, Sosnowski. He's just consistently landed more shots. I don't know if they're better quality shots, that's a different argument, but he's landed more punches, surely.
Yeah, and if they're scoring punches, then they score, obviously. They don't have to be knockout shots. It's possible Harris is just throwing this away with his laid-back attitude. He hasn't put everything into it.
And he's blowing hard at the end there as well.
And you have to give Sosnowski the credit that he did put everything into that three-rounder.
What an entertaining opening to this international heavyweight prize fighter here at the York Hall. And there's the numbers. Harris just not throwing enough punches. Almost outthrown by 100 punches, and the success rate, okay, more or less comparable. That means Albert Sosnowski landed more punches.
Yep, and that's what the game is all about. If they're point-scoring punches, they're not delivered by the inside of the glove. The knuckle part was landing, didn't have the same power, the same quality, but he certainly had the volume. And I think Harris, who looked capable of moving on in the tournament, may well have thrown things away here.
And he will be kicking himself, because if he does lose, he's just been out-hustled. Simple as that. Well, we continue to wait for the scorecards. Come on, fellas, it's only 3 rounds. Maybe it's close. But for me, Sosnowski, despite being rocked and wobbled by every big shot that Harris landed, has just simply outworked the American. Well, we are taking our time, aren't we? Nervous moments for both fellas, but the good news is whoever wins and advances gets a nice long rest before the semi-final. So one of these fellas can just put their feet up and get ready, and the other one can start packing their bags and going home. Who's it going to be, Albert Sosnowski or Maurice Harris? I think we are finally ready to find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of boxing in quarterfinal number 1, we have a split decision. Judge John Keane scores the contest 29-28 in favour of Sosnowski. Mark Green scores the contest 29-28 in favour of Harris. And Judge Phil Edwards scores the contest 29-28 in favour of the winner, and through to semi-final number 1 from Poland, Albert Sosnowski.
Well, it was the toss of a coin, really, wasn't it, that one? It's what you like, but Albert Sosnowski from Poland, former Klitschko victim, is through to the semi-finals. It's a long way home for Maurice Harris, back to New Jersey. Disappointment for the 36-year-old veteran American. Is that the way you saw it?
Yeah, Harris was a frustrating type of fighter. You knew he had the ability and the skill and the know-how to do it. He was just lazy. And Sosnowski did enough work, pressured him, and he worked with whatever was in front of him, so he deserved the win.
Was fitness an issue for Harris, you think?
I think Harris is a 36-year-old. He's been a sparring partner through a lot of his career in with some big names. I think he had a sparring partner mentality. You know, he just couldn't pick it up, and I think that's the problem that some people have in this competition. They've got to go in there and they've got to throw the shots.
People watching that, though, other fighters will think Sosnowski, I could get him. He almost went in round one there.
He looked so easy to hit. Looked so open with the right hand over the top. You couldn't miss him. Sosnowski's all brawn. It looks like he fights all brawn and brain. Wants to try and put you under pressure and have a tear up with you. So if you can box and you're smart and you're sharp with the shots, it looks like you can pick him apart.
He was better. You know, he got hit early on and he wobbled, but as it went on, those punches weren't having an effect on him. So he obviously, you know, his strength got him through. And the good thing about it is he's workmanlike. He just keeps chugging away and chugging away.
He got caught with the same shot 3 times in the first round, so he didn't learn his lesson. It's just that Harris was just lazy to throw it again. He was sort of telegraphing the shot that I'm going to throw the right hand. It was too obvious.
We're still looking for that first knockout. Prize fighter, the international heavyweights. Up next is Morocco against the United States. Kevin Johnson, the prize fighter favourite from New York, is on the way next.